recording. Good afternoon, Miche Serdykov.
Hello, Davy. How are you?
First of all, can I just say congratulations, because I know today it's a big weekend in Russia this weekend, and I just wanted to congratulate you on Victory Day and all that. It's not such a big day in Ireland because we're a very small country and we weren't involved so much. So to Russia, with much love. So want to just introduce you, Miche, because I know you a very long time, and you're like actually a member of our own family, to be perfectly honest. It's like talking to one of my own children. And so I'm going to hand over to you because you've such an incredible story. Your life story actually is like a novel. It's a film, it's a movie, your life story, really. And so I know you 21 years. So I'm going to ask you to just give me your memories of your younger life, and we'll then talk about where you are at the moment and how successful you are, because clearly you are gorgeous and successful. So just start me off, Miche, in our relationship, or even your own life, your memory as far back. How far back does your memory go?
Thank you, Deb. Yes, you're right. I know you for a long time already, actually much longer than I live. So I know not from Khatelova, but from Klintsy orphanage. It's not 20 years, it's actually even more, maybe 25, to be honest. So now I'm 32, so I know you more of my life. As you remember, you met me in Klintsy orphanage before you came to Khatelova orphanage. And it was our first met. Then, the second time when you met me was...
You were only about, what, 3 or 4 at the time? Something like this.
I was about 5, to be honest. Something about 5, because later, maybe, after 2 years old, after Klintsy baby orphanage, in Klintsy I stayed, it was in my really early ages. I was moved to Khatelova orphanage, and in 1998, I was brought to Khatelova orphanage. I was 7 then, so yes, it was 5. When I arrived to Khatelova orphanage with my team, with a group from Klintsy orphanage, it was about maybe 5 or 6 children from my group and from another group, and among them was another girl. So we both were brought to Khatelova, and you decided to visit her that time, and that was actually the second time when I met you, and when our friendship began to grow into something big, into something enormous, and something I know and I know you until now, yes. And I saw how much you have done.
Okay.
Yes.
Don't worry. I want to talk about you, not about what we've done. So this is about you. So my first memory, Miche, of you is you had a brown duffel coat. You remember your brown coat?
Yeah.
You had big dark circles, black circles under your eyes. You were so stressed looking, and you were quiet, a very quiet boy, and so gentle. And when we started making the documentary there in 1998, you were a cameraman's assistant. You were carrying around his camera. Miche, tell me at that point, had you any idea why you were an orphan? Did you know then why your parents were not raising you?
At that age, I didn't know the reasons why I was put in the orphanage. What were the reasons and why I just was put there? But from that age, I was always trying to understand the reasons. Even being like a kid, I already started to realize myself and understand why it happened. At the same time, I was wondering why there is nobody around me. Because staying in the Klintsy orphanage and then in Khatelova orphanage, I was always by my own. There was nobody I had. For example, I had no sisters, I had no brothers, nobody, no one just came to visit me as other kids actually had in their childhood. somebody, for example, granny or maybe mother-in-law or somebody else from the family could come and visit the kid who was put in the orphanage. But in my case, I had no one. And from my childhood, it was a question for me, why I have nobody who is just coming to visit me and maybe to tell something to me, to tell me the truth. Actually, to be honest, I didn't think about the truth. I was wondering why there is nobody I have. That was the main question from my childhood to me. Even no sister, no brother. And it was so disappointing at that time. So that maybe because of that, I had that sad face and sad feeling inside of myself. And as a result, I had that black eyes, you see? Yeah, and yeah, this is maybe it's because, yeah, I was always so sad and lonely. Maybe the loneliness inside myself just made to look me this way. You understand?
Yes. And Miche,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to have an upsetting conversation here, because we know each other's lives extremely well, and you've been in my kitchen many, many times. But
Yes.
did the children ever ask each other then? Like, we were fascinated coming in as Irish that there was no mothers and fathers around. I mean, we could never understand why had parents given up so many beautiful children. I mean, you, Slava, Lunkov, when you think of Masha, Nadia, who are now in America, Max, Zhivanev, all the beautiful children that we fell in love with, Sasha Zukhanov, his sisters, like, we could not believe that people had put you into orphanages. We just couldn't get our head around that as Irish. Now, we became more used to the idea, and we got to understand poverty at the time in Russia in 1998. It was a very difficult time. So, but my point is, it was your normal situation. It seemed to be more shocking to us, actually, because all of you children were in the same boat, you know?
Yes, yes.
So, if I could just skip forward a little tiny bit, we obviously, we discovered that you had a label on your head that was like a slow label, and we all knew you were extremely bright. So to explain that situation, when children are taken away from their parents in Russia and put into an orphanage, maybe their parents are alcoholics or whatever. The same thing happened in Ireland, by the way, Miche. The very same thing happened in Ireland 50 years ago. But they give you, in Russia, they give you an academic test, and they put you into an orphanage depending on your academic ability. So that didn't happen in Ireland. Children in Ireland were just thrown into orphanages wherever there was a bed. Whereas in Russia, they grade them by their academic ability, and you were misgraded. So you got the wrong grade, because we knew instantly that you were a very clever boy. We saw you with the cameraman's cameras. We saw you learning English from day one. And so we got your grade. We fought the system and we got your grade changed, and we moved you to a private school. And which was the first child for us to do that with, because we felt it was the right thing to do, and we felt you had the inner spirit to be able to cope with that, because it really, Miche, that was a really difficult move for you to go in with normal family children, wasn't it? It really was difficult.
Yeah, it was. I think it was really difficult to get to the normal family at that ages. But at the same time, maybe I wanted to be put in a normal family. Actually, I had a dream to be adopted by someone to somewhere, you know, to have a normal family, to live in a normal life. But the magic didn't happen. But I don't say I do not regret about anything what was in my past. I only respect it. I take the lessons from my past, and through time, I do understand that maybe not being adopted to a Russian family or to abroad somewhere, I have passed through so many things, and I have met so many people, as Russians, as foreigners, like as Irish, as Americans, people from other countries, that I actually become really friendly with many of the people. And now at this point of my ages, I know so many people from all of the countries, not from just from local countries, for example, Russia. and it's like a big family for me now.
Miche, like genuinely, you know, we love you. And like we don't.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And I mean, you're part of our family. I mean, you were at our family wedding last year. I mean, 6 weeks ago, we had another Irish visitor in Terry McMahon, and I read Terry's report last week, and like he spoke about you, he just couldn't say enough good things about you and how magnificent you were. And you do know we all feel that about you. Miche, can I take you back to when you eventually did meet your mom? Do you mind me asking you that?
Sure. Yes. Yes. The first time when actually it was when I was 18. One of my Irish friend who I met thanks to you, Debbie, to your big team who is supporting us, kids, those children who are in the orphanage. So there was Jean McCarthy. You remember her?
Of course.
So she was one of the volunteer here, yes, and and because you had that excellent program, not just the one, you had many of them. When you have to meet your siblings, you know, to have the connections, or with brothers, or with sisters, or mothers, or anybody. And this is actually what every kid needs. And yes, and that Jean McCarthy.
Just before you go on, just let me explain that for anybody who's listening. So we had a program set up that we had 250 children in one orphanage, but they had brothers and sisters and mothers and grannies far and wide. And we set up a program so that we linked as many children as possible to their brothers and sisters or their grannies or their mothers if we could find them. Yeah? So that was the program. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. And yeah, thanks one of the nicest and kindest volunteer, Jean McCarthy, who was with me at that point and who just came to me asking, would you like to meet your mother? And I was 18 at that at 17 at that moment. And can you imagine myself growing up from the Clean Sea Baby Orphanage in the Hotel Orphanage to your like adult ages, like 16, 17 years old, you're already like teenagers. And when you never met anybody from your family, like no mother, no father, or anybody, you already just think that the family is that your family who you lived with, and you can realize that you are going to meet your mother who born you, because you just can realize that it is going to happen because that person never spent any time with you, maybe only in like childhood when you were taken. But it was shock to me. It was really a shock to me, but at the same time, it was exciting. It is excited me because I wanted to know the truth. I wanted to know. I had a lot of questions in my head, but like 3 main of them: why I am in the orphanage? What happened with my parents? Because I wasn't arguing on my parents why I'm in the orphanage, but I was interested why I appeared here. At the same time, yeah, I wanted to see the real face of my mother, and maybe somebody else. For example, if I met mother, I may know the truth about the father.
Go with Jean. Where did you go with Jean to meet your mother?
So finally, yeah, we went to Glin. This is the city in the region of Bryansk, which is about 2.5 hours to drive from Bryansk city. Yes, my mother, she stayed in a hospital for how do you say, mentally sick or disordered people.
Asylum.
Correct to say? You understand it. And she had been staying there for that moment already for 18 years. Actually, for the moment I stayed in the orphanage. Okay. Yes, so I was 17. I was 17 that.
Postnatal depression. I think she went in there because she had postnatal depression and she never came out.
Yes? It looks so, yes. Actually, I briefly tell you that just few years ago, I decided, actually, yeah, at that meeting with my mother, yeah, at 17 years old, I had a few questions. I questioned her. Like when I first met her, I was shocked. At the same time, I was trying to be another person who is like I was understanding where she stays, why she stays, and because of 18 years staying in the hospital, I could realize that she may not know who I am, what the
Yes.
person came to visit her. So I decided not also to press on her and shock on her. I decided to be like a separate person who just came here and just want to be polite and to be friendly, ask a few questions, and at the same time we brought some food, some clothes, just be nice person who just came to visit her. And we actually were all really good at that date because she had nobody also who visited her previously. So she was also shocked when I met her when I came to visit her. Yes. So we just sat in front of each other, and there was a Jean, but she was like beside us. So we just sat and we were sitting about 5 minutes calm, and then just asked a few questions. I asked why. I asked just 3 questions. Do you know that you have kids? Like she said yes, and I actually have 2 of them. At that moment, I was shocked, to be honest, because it seems to me that she is already cuckoo with her head because think of that. Because if I'm only the only son and nobody visits me, what another kid? And I asked her, "Do you remember the name of your son?" And she said, "Yes. His name is Misha." And she was so clearly saying, with a bright brain, saying, without this, when you just talk with a person and he's somewhere on another planet, she was directly speaking to you. I was shocked to hear that she still remembered how her son was named, Misha, who is me. And I was wondering, and who is looking the second kid? And she said, I had a older child, and it's actually she, and her name is Svetlana. To be honest, at that moment, I didn't pay too much attention on that because I understand, because I was 17 also, and before that I didn't see anybody, and understanding that she was staying in the hospital for 17 years, everything can be in the brain.
Yes.
But yeah, just a few years ago, I actually decided to look for somebody. If there is actually, I have a sister, and I wrote to different kind of administration of Bryansk. And I just wrote to all of the regions of Bryansk about asking, like, such a girl with such name was born approximately that date, approximately in that area. Maybe they moved to another place. So I was discovering the stuff and the things. Actually, I've done a lot of job about that. And I've got reply from the many administrations of Bryansk saying, no, we don't have any record about such person. No, we don't have. So about 10 I've got that we have nothing about this girl. Please, like, try to find somewhere else. So I decided maybe, yeah, there is no any Svetlana, my sister I have. And finally, on the last day, I've got like a message from one region saying, yes, we have a record of such person with such name that was born approximately that date and that area. So it was like a bingo for me.
Yes.
Yes.
So
and then
we could talk about this for days. So you then went on.
Yeah.
You have since met your gorgeous sister Svetlana.
Yes, and yes, 2 years ago I first met her. She was actually also shocked about knowing that she has somebody else because she 10 years older than me, and she heard nothing about our brother because she was moved with her father to another region where she stayed for the rest of her life and never traveled back to the place where she was born. Actually, from her speaking with Svetlana, because I visited her 3 times already for the past 2 years, and we talked much to each other by phone or by other social media, and she told me actually many things that was like a questions for me for previous life, about my parents, about my life, why so happened, and by coming and visiting her, we also visited many places and met many people who might be my father, but actually he's not. He's her father.
Okay.
I had another father. Yes, but at the same time, we went to the place where I was born, and we talked to the neighbors, and they told us the truth actually about the situation that happened with me and why I was taken away from my mother and was put in the orphanage.
Okay.
Yes, and just the age here. What?
Okay, Miche, because I have to keep this a little bit shorter because it just goes on
Sure,
to.
yeah.
So I just want, well, I then wanted, I'll bring on your story a little bit. So you went to, you obviously were one of the best children we ever had. I say that about all the children, but I'm just saying you're.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
course.
You're like mother for all of us, yeah. You're like a mother for all of us. We are all your kids, you know that.
The family is too
Yeah.
big. But anyway, so then you went on to college. Your English is beautiful. And you then came, of course, you met Andrei Malakov with me. You came on Andrei's show and told the story because you were trying to battle on behalf of the orphans. And then you went and met the most beautiful girl, magnificent creature called Lena. Yes?
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stunning wife, stunning, absolutely beautiful wife, and your whole life, really, Miche, you're such a wonderful person that we are just all so proud of you, and we're so proud of for all of your achievements, Miche. Really and truly, look at the person that you are today.
That I would say that everyone has some kind of um, seed inside of himself. I mean, he may do many things, but you always need somebody like a catalysator who can help to open yourself. And I think your team, and your behavior, your treatment, your love, your passion you gave to not me but all of us just helped us, yes, to realize ourselves. Um, you helped, for example, you helped me to open myself. Yeah, you recognize, you noted that from my childhood, from the moment when I first met you, I gave you the picture of a nicely drawn dragon. Maybe you saw that, and on the time, yeah, while staying in the orphanage, you saw my skills, which were slowly growing thanks to you, thanks to your volunteers and team who was supporting all of us, thanks to your programs, yes, these siblings programs, these medical treatment programs, these health clothes and food programs, many programs. That all programs were like surrounded all of us, and they gave us like the chances to for us to open us, yeah, to be like a.
That is lovely. It's lovely to hear all of that, because obviously we've had the most amazing Irish and Russians, like Zhenya, Sveta, all of the Russians that we've had working with you. All, like, look at Zhenya, all those years that was working for us, and he's living in Ireland now, and he's such a loyal friend to all of you. But anyway, I'm going to have to wrap this up, but I just want to say, with the weekend that's been in it, with Victory Day, I know it's a bank holiday, I wanted to say it's such an honor for us to know you. And I know you're saying thank you for all the things we've done for you, the Irish and all that. To be perfectly honest, we really are so honored, and to know people like you. You're so open and loyal and warm, and so just, you're an amazing person. And I'm so thrilled that you have such a happy ending with such a beautiful wife that you're so happy with. So that's, for us, that's the dream for us, that the children that we started out with are as balanced and as happy as you are. So from Ireland, with much love, I'm going to cut this short so that I can actually put it up on Facebook. Thank you very much, Miche, for being yourself. Thank you so much for being yourself.
Thank you.
An absolute pleasure for me to know you.
Yeah, Debbie, and thank you for being with us all this time, and still being with us, for all your passion, for all your support that helps us to open ourselves. If there is something you need, I'm always open for you, for any help, for any support. I can do the best for you. Yes. Awesome. And I want you to look after yourself and keep safe, especially at these hard times, okay?
You and Lena as well. Thanks, Miche.
Yeah, Daddy.